सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ.
So, Andrew, would you like to start with the reading of the verses?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. I'll try and read only the 5 verses this week. So, starting from verse 26, it's translated by Swami Paramarthananda. I will tell you very clearly and distinctly of discrimination. Hearing this, decide for yourself. Take what is real and reject what is unreal. It skips forward a bit, verse 27. Previous actions created this body by combination and permeation of the 5 elements as an instrument of enjoyment. It created also these 3 states, Jagrat, Svapna, and Suthupti, waking, dream, and dreamless sleep. The Jivatman, individual soul, created Jagrat, the wakeful state to enjoy gross things. Verse 28. The subtle body is made of 5 organs of feeling, 5 of action, 5 pranas, 5 subtle elements, the buddhi, avidya, ignorance, karma, desire, and karma, work, created from the 5 subtle elements. Verse 29. It is with desire and it feels action done, because it is ignorant of its real nature. Where's verse 30? Oh, here. Svapna, dream, belongs to the subtle body. It enjoys subtle objects and sees only what has been done in the wakeful state. The Atman is the supreme being. The intellect is his minister. But things done by the intellect do not touch him. He is unattached. It is his instrument. As the chisel is to the carpenter, so is the intellect to the Atman. Finito.
Thank you, Andrew. Any questions or topics that you would like to elaborate or to clarify or to gain more clarity?
Yes, actually, I have a question about the 27th verse, if I may.
Sure, you're most welcome.
Yes, so it's actually full of questions for me, and it's really meaningful. The first question maybe is if this Jagrat is recognizable by the Jivatman in a sort of, how can I say, I can start over, sorry. I read and I know that there is also 4 states that might be Turiya, and it's possibly the dimension where actually the real Atman can actually be placed and somehow be exactly in a sort of way is the dimension of the of Brahman. So I would like to understand if this Jagrat is a sort of, how can I say, coordination of the individual soul and on the other side, the Brahman itself. So it's a sort of relationship where this Jagrata is just considered as completely coming from avidya, so totally a false dimension, fake dimension.
Okay, this is a very big topic, which includes a lot of aspects of the teachings. I'm not sure that I have received correctly your question, but I can mention some things, and then you can ask me to elaborate more. First of all, you mentioned that the Turiya state is where Brahman lies, or Atman dwells. In reality, the three states plus the fourth state are on the level of explanations. In reality, there is only Brahman. There is only that, and you are that. All the rest are for the sake of pedagogical explanations and for the sake of teaching. The states, or the mind states, are only on the level of the mind. And Atman or Brahman is always the only reality, the Paramarthika reality. From the standpoint of Vyavaharika, empirical or dream reality, the mithya, the impermanent reality, or reality, of course, in inverted commas, because it's not a reality, there is only an explanation of functioning, of mechanisms of function from the standpoint of the Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness. We can speak about these states only when we have a Chidabhasa, the reflected consciousness. From the standpoint of Brahman, there is no any of these mind states. So Brahman is always there. It's not that it is only on the Turiya state. Turiya is the fourth state for the sake of teaching. So the mind goes through these phases of sleep, what we call waking state, and then the dreamless state, the sleep without dreams. And then we speak about a fourth state where we want to make a distinction about the reality. But still, since there is only that, since there is only Brahman and you are that, all the rest are only mithya, are only illusory. And it's not that the Brahman, the substratum, appears only in the fourth state. But Brahman is always here and now. Brahman is the only reality. And all the rest, including the mind states, are only illusory. But please feel free to ask to elaborate more.
It's a wonderful explanation and really clear for me, really clear. And thank you so much to clear up my mind about this. And no, I was just somehow curious on how, for example, the I just take the notes, just 1 sec. Okay. For example, the fact that this Jagrat, for me, or for example, a cow, or for example, a fly, is going to be displayed and perceived in total different ways. And maybe I need some minute to maybe some more to formulate this question. So for the moment, I would like to let's say keep going the class, and then maybe later I can formulate better. Anyway, thanks so much for clarifying the fact that Brahman is not dwelling just on the fourth state, but in all the four.
Yes, and when we speak about Jagrat, the so-called perceiving of the universe or the world, it's only from the standpoint of an apparent somebody, an apparent individual being. But the apparent individual being and the world are only illusory, only appearances. And it's because of the prarabdha karma that we have this perception of the world. And as you mentioned, an ant or a dog or a cat is perceiving the world in a complete different way. The same beings, apparent beings, of course, in 14 lokas are experiencing their life and their world in a different way. But this is because of their own unique prarabdha karma and because of the exhaustion of their own prarabdha karma, which has been accumulated through their previous lifetimes. But there is no actual world out there. The world is only an appearance, only a projection. There have never been any creation, and the world is not there by itself. It's only a projection, and it's only a dream. But of course, it is the filtering of the prarabdha karma that an animal like a cat or dog can see and can perceive the world in a totally different way than a human being. But this is all due to prarabdha karma, the accumulated karma fructifying. And because you mentioned the animals can only exhaust their prarabdha karma, which has been accumulated in the human life, in their previous human reincarnations. The animals themselves cannot create karma because they don't have free will and they don't have the ability to take decisions. Actually, they are only exhausting the previous lifetime's karma as human beings. But of course, feel free to ask again and to see any elaboration that is needed. Anybody else? Please use the hand so Andrew can give you your turn.
Yeah, sir. How to overcome prarabdha karma?
Please repeat how to work on prarabdha karma.
Yeah.
When you say how to work, what do you mean? How to overcome or how to deal with prarabdha karma? What exactly you mean?
Yeah, how to face it?
How to face it? Yes, the prarabdha karma should be accepted and should be dealt off with forbearance, with titiksa, and by the recognition and by the acceptance that the prarabdha karma is not something that somebody else gave to us in order to suffer. It's our own deeds and thoughts and actions of the previous janmas, the previous lifetimes, that we have accumulated this prarabdha karma. And now the only way to exhaust the prarabdha karma is through exhausting the punyam and papam, the good karma and the bad karma that we have accumulated through pleasurable or unpleasurable experiences. Pleasurable experiences and events because of our accumulated punyam karma, and unpleasurable experiences because of our accumulated bad karma. And there is no other way to exhaust the prarabdha karma. And we have to accept it. We have to remember that it's something that we need to pass through. And of course, we need to remember also that our true nature as Brahman have never accumulated any karma, and our true nature is completely free of such concepts and completely free of any kind of karma. Brahman is akarta, abhokta, which means a non-doer and a non-experiencer. The one who believes that he is a somebody, an individual identity, or an individual being, or an ego, or a person, or a jivatma, is the one who can accumulate karma and the one who can exhaust karma. But it is on the level of vyavaharika, empirical, dream reality, and it is only an illusion. So the only way to deal with prarabdha karma and to face it is by using the instructions from the scriptures, by fully understanding that it is the only way to reach moksha, to reach finally the self-realization. It's good. Prarabdha karma, it's good. It's not something bad, because through prarabdha karma, we can reach self-realization, moksha.
How one can know that he passed through the prarabdha karma?
Prarabdha karma is appearing each and every passing moment. Because now you are listening and you are part of this dialogue and in this class, it is because of prarabdha karma. As soon as it appears, appearing events or relationships or anything, and you are experiencing either pleasurable or unpleasurable experiences, that means that there is still prarabdha karma to be exhausted. And even a jnani, a self-realized one, is exhausting prarabdha karma. It cannot be deleted. A jnani also will experience prarabdha karma. And the only difference is that a jnani, a self-realized one, do not create new, fresh karma, which is called agami karma. He is exhausting from the sanchita karma, the store of karma from previous janmas, lifetimes. But the very event that you are here and you are experiencing this dialogue and this class is a sign that there is still prarabdha karma to be exhausted. If there is no prarabdha karma, then a jnani will just leave the body, will just not continue to exist, to appear as a physical person. But when we
Means
see
that
a jnani, when we see a jnani, like let's say Ramana Maharishi, he was a jnani, but still there was prarabdha karma to be exhausted. And then when a jnani have exhausted his prarabdha karma, then he don't produce, he don't have what we call another reincarnation, because there is no need for that. No any prarabdha karma to be exhausted, so there is no new reincarnation.
okay, Guruji. Means that in reality, the people who are not facing th- I'm not getting what to explain it. Means that opposite person is in a position to understand the reality, then only he will gain the ultimate position.
You can have a profound understanding of what you really are and be a jnani, but still prarabdha karma will continue to appear. We have, let's say, let's take again the example of the great jnani, Ramana Maharishi. He was a jnani, but still he was experiencing problems with his physical body. His physical body was not healthy. Somebody could say that Ramana Maharishi was not a jnani because he couldn't go beyond this health issue or his health problems. But this is completely for ignorant ones, because even a jnani can have the exhaustion of bad and good karma, which is the prarabdha karma, the destiny. The only way to go beyond prarabdha karma is exhaustion. There is no other way. And how we can exhaust prarabdha karma? Through pleasurable and unpleasurable experiences. Like that, we can exhaust punyam and papam. No other way is existing.
Okay. Thank
But I remind you, your true nature, have never ever had any karma. It's completely free, and you are a nitya mukta, eternally liberated. The only case is that somebody cannot recognize that due to the veiling of the thinking process. But there is only one enlightened one self-realized one, and it is you. And there is only one you. So we have the singularity of consciousness.
But I can't know all those things. Jnani means I cannot gain whole knowledge about existence.
I'm not sure if I get well your question.
Means that jnani means that one how can attain whole knowledge.
Jnani have full knowledge of the ultimate reality. He don't need the world knowledge. If you mean any knowledge regarding the universe, a jnani is not interested for such knowledge. Why? Because every kind of knowledge is in the level of mithya, impermanence. Knowledge and ignorance are on the level of the mind, on the level of mithya, impermanence. And it is only a concept. Knowledge is a concept. Ignorance is also a concept. Brahman is beyond these concepts of knowledge or ignorance. And a jnani knows that. When a jnani knows that he, in inverted commas, or she, in inverted commas, is that, which means Brahman, then there is no need of any other knowledge anymore. That's why it is mentioned in the Upanishad. When you know that, there is nothing left to be known.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Welcome. Anybody else?
I've got a question.
Sure. Most welcome.
Swamiji's talking about at one point in these verses, he's talking about dreams. And he says that the dream tiger, for example, is nothing other than thought. So what's the difference between a dream tiger and a real tiger? That's my question.
Actually, there is no difference, because it is dream in the dream. The dream in the night is a dream in the dream of the Jivatma, of the apparent individual.
Mm-hmm.
They are both dreams, and they are both illusory. The only difference in the dream state, what we call the dream state, is that it appears more quick, more fast. And the dream in the waking state, it has some kind of a perception of that it is very, very long, more long than the dream in the night. No other difference is there, like worthy for distinctions. The only distinction is that the dream in the night is having not so much the feeling of endurance, but the dream in the waking state, it appears as very, very slow, more slow at least.
So there's no difference in the substance between a dream tiger and a, in inverted commas, real tiger. Both are just thought.
Yes, there is. It is only a kind of imagination, only vrittis, waves of thoughts, and the dream in the night is the result of the dream of the waking state. If Andrew have a conflict with a friend in the waking, what we call the waking state, and there is a fighting, then it may appear in the night in the dream.
Yeah.
But both of these situations, the fight in the waking state, which is a dream, and the fight in the dream state in the night, are both thoughts and concepts. Whatever you see, whatever you are experiencing is only a concept, only names and forms, nama rupa, only a procedure of labeling, superimposition. You see in front of you what is the result of prarabdha karma. Another apparent being in another loka may see a river as fire, or a river as nectar. Another being cannot even distinguish what is liquid and what is more stable. Another being can not even be able to see the river, and so on and so forth. But all the 14 lokas, we have apparent beings, which beings always are imagining, are looking at their own dream. Everything is dreamlike. Whatever is so-called out there is only a concept, only labeling, superimposition. You say this is the ocean, and these are the waves in the surface of the ocean, and then you start to believe that there is such thing as an ocean and such a thing as a wave. But in reality, there is no ocean, there is only water. And there are no waves, there is only water. And if you go further and you ask, what is the water is also a label.
Yeah.
When you go inside, or in the substance of the water, you can recognize that there is only labeling in the end. People used to believe, and scientists of the past, that there is matter. But now the scientists, especially the quantum mechanics scientists or physicists, they know very well that there is no such thing as matter. They see the subatomic particles and they see only energy or vibration or frequencies. And then if you ask them what is frequencies or vibrations, and you go further in your questions, you will end up that everything is only informations or consciousness. And we have so many wonderful physicists like Schrödinger, who said that there is no any multiplicity and there is only the singularity of consciousness. And he was, of course, influenced by Advaita Vedanta, and he was endorsing Advaita Vedanta, and he was a great follower of Advaita Vedanta. Yes, everything is a dream, whether it is in the waking state or in the night, in the dream state. Everything is only a thought. Now, if you ask what is a thought, the thought doesn't exist by any means. If you try to put a thought in the microscope, you will never find anything. It's only imagination, are only modulations in consciousness, only the hybrid phenomenon of Atma with Anatma. We have the substratum of consciousness, and then we have the projecting power of Maya, which creates this illusory universe, the illusory beings and the illusory objects. Everything is mithya, only vyavaharika, empirical dream reality.
So why does it seem so unthought-like? Like if I go to India in 6 months and I get attacked by a tiger, and it could eat me alive. How can a thought eat me alive?
Because it is from the standpoint of the observer. If you were to remove the presence of you, the so-called you as a human being, and the lion, if you were to remove the presence or the awareness of the lion and the so-called you, can it remain the lion and the so-called you as a human being?
Without awareness or presence?
Yes.
No.
Presence or consciousness?
No.
So, where is the lion and where is the human being? They start to appear only if we have labeling and presence, awareness, consciousness. So the lion and the human being are none other than superpositions or modulations in consciousness. The same with the signal in the screen, in the TV screen. The same signal can appear as somebody who is telling the news, and the same signal in the screen may appear as a wonderful forest. Does experience prove existence, inherent existence?
It doesn't prove inherent existence, no.
No, it does not improve. Exactly. We have in the dream state a lion and you are having this fear because of the lion, and then you wake up, and then you recognize that the lion and the so-called you were only an illusion, imagination. Yes, but still the fear and the pain was existing, appearing in the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there was there really a lion with inherent existence and you as somebody with inherent existence.
That's true.
Yes, we have also utility in the dream. If you are thirsty in the dream, and somebody will appear in your dream and offers you a glass of water, your thirst will go. This is utility. And then we have also transactability. Let's say you see a dream that you are very, very poor and you have no money and you don't have a house to live and you live in the streets. And you see in the dream that somebody offers you a heritage of money and you buy a home and now you are happy and you live in this home.
Mm.
Utility experience.
Mm.
And then you wake up and you realize that utility, experienceability, and transactability that cannot prove inherent existence,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But we have the same in the waking state. We have experienceability, transactability, and utility, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people believe that this world is real.
Yes, it's very convincing.
Very convincing, but we have the same conviction in the dream state. And then the question is, if in the dream state we have these functions, utility, experienceability, and transactability, but that does not prove reality of any kind, then why in the waking state we are so convinced that this world is real?
Probably because we have common agreement about certain things, even though each individual's perception might be, well, will be different. Because it's close enough, we believe there is an inherently existent thing, because, oh, look, there's a tiger there. There's 20 people. We all agree there's a tiger. But as I just said, each individual's perception of that tiger will be unique. But maybe that's why it's so convincing, because there's like an agreement about things.
But it is in the substratum of the dream. Whoever agrees with you that in front of you there is a lion are also protagonists of the same dream.
Yeah.
So if Andrew is Cleopatra in the dream, everybody is calling Andrew Cleopatra, all the people around. Does that mean that Andrew will continue to be Cleopatra when he wake up?
Well, it's an option.
You see? The protagonist in the dream may say, yes, I'm Cleopatra, or
Yeah.
I'm Julius Caesar.
Mm.
Does that prove that you really are Julius Caesar? No. Because we speak about true reality when we have the same in the three periods of time, as we call them, past, present, and future. If something appears and disappears, how we can say that it is true?
Mm-hmm.
We say that Andrew is a true human being.
Mm.
Now he is speaking. He's having a dialogue with Sachidananda Acharya, and he is a true being. But where is Andrew in the deep sleep without dreams?
Yeah, he's not really around.
Not really around. Not only Andrew is not really around, but even the universe is not around. But still, there is something, in inverted commas, which is really there in the deep sleep. How we know that? Because when Andrew will stand up from the bed, and he had this deep sleep without dreams, he can say oh, I was so beautiful in this deep sleep. I slept like a log of wood.
Mm.
Nothing was there, and I feel so rejuvenated.
Yeah.
So if not Andrew was there, what was there registering this blankness, this complete non-existence of thoughts or imaginations of anything like activity?
I presume awareness, consciousness.
Awareness consciousness is the substratum, but what can register is Karana Sariram, the subtle, the most subtle causal body, we call it in Advaita Vedanta.
Yeah.
So the causal body was there in the deep sleep registering, but that also could happen only because we have the substratum of consciousness, the substratum of presence awareness, and even prior what we call Brahman.
So are you saying that in deep sleep, the Brahman accommodates the causal body?
Brahman is the only reality, the absolute reality, Paramarthika reality, and this is only that, and you are that. When we speak about accommodation, we can speak about that only in the level of apparent vyavaharika, empirical dream reality. So from the standpoint of Chidabhasa reflected consciousness, who, let's say, is appearing as Andrew, yes, we can speak like that. But prior to somebody, prior to the reflected consciousness, there is no any accommodation at all. Like Brahman don't have any will or any activity or any wish or does not do anything at all, does not have any knowledge. It's beyond all these concepts of knowledge and ignorance, of accommodation, of Jagrat, the world, the beings, the apparent objects, the apparent beings, the apparent world. The screen, another example, is there, and upon the screen may appear a drama and a comedy movie. But does the screen have any modification after these two movies?
No.
No. If in the movie there is a killing and there is a lot of blood from murderers and or a war, a very awful war, does the screen will be full of blood?
No.
If there is in one of the movies there is a waterfall, can the screen be wet?
Definitely not.
Not. The same with fire. If there is a fire, the screen will not burn, will not get burning, this burn, and will stay always unmodified, changeless. The same with the example of the sun. Because of the appearance of the sun, there is light. But the sun don't have the wish to create light. It's just its nature. And the sun don't say to itself, I am the sun. Who can say that? Only reflected consciousness, only Chidabhasa. Prior to a reflected consciousness, a fine medium of reflection, which is the subtle body, we cannot have any kind of concepts or any kind of declarations. Brahman don't say, I am Brahman. Brahman don't have the name Brahman, don't need a name, don't do anything, does not create anything. It's completely useless. Okay, that was only a joke.
Yeah, it's a tough word, isn't it? Useless. No, I've said to you before as a joke. Sometimes I think, oh, I must be Brahmin because I'm also totally useless.
Yes. If you don't need any other elaboration, Gabriel also has, I see, hand.
Thank you so much, actually, but I think that maybe it's a little bit late. I don't know if the question would run a little bit further.
No, it's okay. We can expand a little bit
Okay.
the meeting, the class.
Thanks for the availability. The question is just about the, for example, I feel that I'm totally comfortable with the idea of the illusory nature of the waking state, of the dream state, and the deep sleep state. As you mentioned, the fantastic theory of matter. On the other side, I totally appreciate some other theories that talks about the making sense of the world as a sort of process, totally impersonal, and that actually that we are just somehow a vehicle or logics that can be linguistics, that can be even just logic that are actually not personal. And so I totally feel, and I hope I feel, and I appreciate the idea of I can understand the idea of superimposition, something not personal that actually drives my interpretation and perception of something that apparently is external, but even the relationship between subject and object is illusory. My question is, this experience, even if I totally understand the illusory nature of this experience, has not any relationship with Brahman in the sense that I don't provide anything to Brahman, even if my experience is an illusion, totally. How you say in English, testify, just 1 second, because I would like to be, to use a proper term. My witness of the illusory waking state, dream state, and deep sleep doesn't provide to Brahman a way to testify in some way, somehow, these three states. I don't know if somehow is useful in somehow, in some way, to Brahman my experience.
No, it's totally useless for Brahman.
Okay.
Because Brahman don't have any will, don't have any wish, and don't have anything to accomplish. Brahman is completely out of any concept, out of any change, out of any need. It's only the stratum. Take it like the screen of the cinema. Does the screen of the cinema wish to learn something from the protagonist of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
The screen don't care to learn something of the experiences of the protagonist in the movie. Brahman is take it as an internal screen whereupon can be accommodated all kinds of appearances. But he, in inverted commas, of course, he doesn't have any gender, and it is formless and nameless. It doesn't have even the name Brahman, and it does not need any name. It's only the substratum, only the screen. And it is a screen which is without any borders, no any limitations of any kind. It is akarta, which means non-doer. It is abhokta, which means non-experiencer. It's only a screen. It does not know also what is it. Because knowledge and ignorance are also concepts. And Brahman is beyond any concept.
I see. I see. Thanks.
Most welcome. Anybody else? Yes, Andrew?
Andre has raised a hand.
Yes, please go ahead.
Excuse me? Do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, it is the wrong name here on my Google account. It is Mario, not Andre. I'm sorry. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you, Guruji. Thanks, Sangha, for being here today and for availability. I will just ask, is it proper analogy to not to compare, but just to illustrate a sleeping human being having a dream which provides substratum and everything needed, and projecting power as Maya in his own dream to create world, events, characters, relationships, transactions, with the same role that Brahman has in this apparent reality, which is not real. It is clear. But is that analogy or illustration is correct?
The sound is not so clear. The illustration of
Dreaming human being, having a dream, projecting and providing all needed in that dream, all substratum, characters, relationships, everything else is similar or same to the function of Brahman providing substratum, but not be in any way attached to it, being just empty, blank substratum for everything that happened in that divine dream. Is that a correct analogy or illustration? Because it was always clear to me that it's waking, but but dreaming state is absolutely the same. Just like I'm dreaming everything every night, so Brahman dreamed this apparent waking state. So I'm always questioning myself, but always the others also. Who is dreamer of your life? Is it correct to think in that manner, in that way?
so and so, because Brahman don't have the wish to dream and does not need to dream, but the dreams, the dream of the apparent universe, the dream of the world and the apparent beings, and the dream of the objects and everything, they do appear and disappear, but as an illusion. They do not have any inherent existence. Just you mentioned that in your dream, you can see your own universe and interacting with other beings and everything. The same Brahman plus Maya, the projecting power, is projecting this apparent universe and apparent beings and apparent objects. So as an analogy, yes, it is correct. But these have never been ever created anything. No creation ever happened as such.
Yes.
It's only appearances, appearances upon appearances.
With no real substance of reality of its own. It is clear. Thank you.
Most welcome. Anybody else? Okay, since there is no, or Andrew wish to say something?
No questions from me.
Okay, and Andrei also have still the hand. Wants to say something more, or is from the previous question? Okay, so there is no any questions, so we can close our class for tonight. Please study the VIVEKACUDAMANI and commentaries and teachings of my guru Swami Paramarthananda, and you can bring your questions in our next class next Monday.
Yeah,
Second.
The next class will be verses 31 to 35, and I'll send the verses in English sometime during the week as well.
Fantastic. So thank you all. Please study and feel free to bring your questions and topics for our satsanga in our next class. Bye-bye and namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mama.
Thank you. Namaste.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः